Good morning and welcome to Poly TV Show. I am Samuel Olaniyan. This is another episode of Poly TV Newspaper Review and Analysis. And I'm being joined in the studio by Mr. Simon Fakeye. He is the publisher of Result Time and also a public affairs analyst. Welcome to the program, sir.
It's my pleasure. Good morning.
All right. I'm always liking your outfit, your agbada.
Well, maybe because we remain Yoruba.
Yoruba to the call.
So,
All right. You look very good, sir.
thank you.
All right, so let's get straight to it. We have the Vanguard newspaper with us this morning. We have the Punch, we have the Guardian, and also we have the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. And first will be the Vanguard newspaper. On the front page of the Vanguard is the story, petrol to cost more as crude oil price rises further. And also the story went further to say, Bonny Light hits $70.30 while U.S. crude inventories fall as tension in Middle East heightens up. It also says diesel prices go up, petrol remain unchanged. Expect pressure on businesses, household, according to experts. Yesterday also, one of the newspapers actually carried it that it's likely that petrol prices might go up. Do you think this is something Nigerians would want to would want to expect to happen?
Yeah, there are part of the factors responsible, as they mentioned, on the cover page of the newspaper. But, you know, we are used to it. Yeah, there used to be up and down in pump price of PMS and other. So, but as the paper has put it, it is true. You see, during this Yuletide period, the December, January thing, there will be a measure of reduction in price. And maybe some of us did not know that it was because of the decision of Dangote to reduce or remove 100 naira from the actual price, from 8 something to 730 or 740. So after just to ease the transportation of those who will be traveling. Now that the period is over, that is a factor. Then the paper mentioned the the East tension. Yeah. So most of the U.S. reserve is getting strained. So U.S. don't have enough in storage again. So by that, there is competition. There is more demand, which causes the increase in price of the crude. Then the issue of the Bonny Light, that is one of the best fuel in the world. And that is what we have. And as I said, the demand is getting high. So developed countries even need our crude oil. So I think around the last year it was sold for maybe $6.4 per barrel. Yeah, 64. Yeah, 64. Now it's getting to about $10 increment. It's now 70.30. So those factors will eventually lead to increments in pump price. Yes, we've gotten that of the diesel. It remains the PMS. But I hope Dangote and federal government will look into it and see if there a better way to reduce the tension or the increment from the masses. So there's nothing we can do to it. That is why we are suggesting to federal government, and we are supporting the federal government also over the import duty, the 15% import duty, which will allow and encourage more investors in refinery construction. Yeah. By the time we have more refineries, there will be profitable competition that will benefit the masses. And by that, there will be a measure of relief from the NMPC. Also, the factor of the NNPC selling crude to Dangote or refiners, I think it's necessary. To some extent, they are doing that, but it's not, maybe by now, Dangote is getting 40–50% crude
Okay.
for
From
Naira,
Naira. Okay.
Naira crude. So, and federal government, he has called on federal government to intervene so that he will be getting, by the time he gets all, about 100% of the crude needed through Naira transaction, then this inflation, the Naira dollar problem will not affect it. So we won't be witnessing a situation where there is increment today, reduction tomorrow. There will be stable pump price. So government should help us to look into that. There's nothing, it will cost them nothing. This is our product. We get it from, yeah.
And
so
it's almost free.
it's almost free. So why would they be prioritizing foreign investors over Dangote or our own? So we have to look into that to put an end to this incessant increment in petrol price.
All right, thanks. Straight to the world of sports, still on the Vanguard newspaper. AFCON final saga. CAF's Hamas fall on Senegal, Morocco. I think this is something most football lovers would want to hear, because watching that final between Senegal and Morocco, it was very, very disheartening. And finally, I think CAF has acted the way they should have. What's your take, sir?
Well, maybe they've acted to satisfy a section of the football fans or soccer fans. But for me, I'm waiting. Maybe I'm here to, because I'm here to raise something like sanction to the officiating team, the referee.
I think it's more of the player and the coach and then the FA now.
Okay, yes. So I'm waiting for what they are going, the sanction they are going to offer or give to the referee, assistant referees. Even the man that officiated, the team that officiated during Nigeria-Morocco game, I wasn't comfortable with their decision. So whatever happened on the field between Morocco and Senegal, or by the way they call themselves, Maroc and Senegal, I think the officiating team played a major role. Why was the decision of the Senegal to go out of the field, if not because of the decision of the referee? So we all, that is, the majority believe that the referee did not play or acted to the rules. Final, it's like he has determined to favor the hosting country. And it shouldn't be, because if the host country gets everything ready and other nations are not coming, what will be the result? So there has to be a measure of fairness to all teams that come into. So I'm waiting for CAF to know what kind of sanction they are going to give to the officiating team. Who caused the whole problem? It's a resultant effect. The players, Senegal, were reacting to the cause. Their reaction was the effect. But the cause, the CAF has just closed its eyes. They have to do something. They have to. I'm expecting the kind of sanction that will go to the officiating team of that.
All right, let's just hope that CAF will do something towards that. There's a story I would really want us to look at on the front page of Vanguard newspaper. Clash by Wizkid, Seun Kuti over Fela's legacy refuses to fade. The internet has been agog for about 2-3 weeks now. We have the exchange between Seun Kuti and also the famous hip-hop star, Wizkid Ayo Balogun. And then I think later today, Fela will be honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award by the famous music award, Grammy. What is your own reflection of such rivalry between, a lot of people are comparing Wizkid with the great Fela Anikulapo Kuti. Do you think such comparisons are even necessary?
In fact, I have to fall for your sentiment. You said great Fela Anikulapo. So that's I think even if I have to support those who believe that Wizkid had outranked Fela this time around, without your qualification, it reminded me of the great fella, the greater fella, Anikulapo. Yeah, the man has really delivered when it comes to the music, the entertainment aspect, and the social angle, the activism that he brought into his passion. Yeah. So I don't, left to the content creators, I don't think we need to encourage comparing the two of them. In Yoruba will say, bó bá ṣe wù kọ́mọ láṣọ tó, kò ní lákìsà bí bàbá ẹ̀. Meaning that no matter the quantities of cloth possessed by a child, his parents, either father or mother, will have more used clothes than him, especially the one they used to braid him. So, in this case, Wizkid has been favored with many factors, modernized. This is digital age, this is information age, social age, and all of that. During the time of Fela, if Wizkid has existed then, he might not have gotten it right. Because it takes more than normal to have such audience then, to gain international attention.
Without internet.
Without internet. Just through, it was cassettes, not CD. So for him to have gotten that recognition worldwide, I think by the time he died, there was a celebration that took place abroad. Fela got international recognition where there were nothing digital to assist him. And the message in his music also cut across, and it sent shock, let me put that way, to government. During the OBJ, General Obasanjo, I mean the military regime, we read about those things that happened when they listened to Fela music. They believed that Fela music was just like this Jamaica musician who a CIA operative said the US has to eliminate him because it was setting the public against them. The same thing that happened in Nigeria. Fela music touched and affected military government such that his shrine has to be burnt down. His mother has to be thrown from the upstairs. You see, that is the effect of a good messenger with his message. The message in Fela's music cut across and really transcend the intention of Fela Anikulapo. He has become an icon to be worshipped because of his activism. To some extent, government has to change some of their policy. They have to make amendments where necessary, even though they remain adamant. But it really encouraged government or pushed government to do certain things for the benefit of the general masses. Wizkid has not. We are yes. Some of us, the Gen Z, are dancing to his music. I find it difficult to see the real message. What is the message is passing? What is Wizkid telling us or teaching our young ones? So, for God's sake, he has made money through streaming, live streaming, and all of that. Yes, he has gotten fame. Agreed. He's young, and his name, that Wizkid, I think it was used by the former vice president, former Professor Yemi Osinbajo, being the Wizkid in town then. But above that, I think he has to stoop low and try to understudy the content, the messages in Fela's music, because he still have time to do more for the interest of the general masses. Okay. So we should stop comparing Fela with...
All right, thank you for that. We'll straight to the word of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. 2027, waiting game persists as Senate delays Electoral Act bill. Differs action till Tuesday raises mini committee to distill senators' views, while reps step down consideration of outstanding clauses. I think there's this debate concerning the Electoral Act bill. In just 2 minutes, I would want you to give us, because the House of Rep, they already passed this particular bill, waiting for the Senate to do same. But at the Senate, it's not been that easy with this particular bill. I don't know, what do you think might be causing this delay from the senators and from the Senate towards passing this Electoral Act bill?
Yes, I want to be neutral. There are legitimate reasons that could delay it. And I think as at yesterday, the Senate National Assembly when setting up the committee, it gave them 48 hours to report on the matter. So it's not going to be delayed anymore. Whatever causes delay has been removed. So they have just 48 hours to return to the National Assembly the reports, and they were assigned to ensure that the clauses were agreed upon, and they tried to relate it to what is expected by the bill itself. So there are factors, but when you say in 2 minutes, there are factors that were responsible for the delay. You know, there are some cases pending in court that has to do with some parties, which party to remove, which should stay. Then, technically, there are different opinions. There are submissions that has to be thoroughly looked into to ensure that all party concerns have been looked at and brought together. You will remember that this committee consists the ruling party and the opposition. So with the eyes of the opposition, with the eyes of the ruling party, they're going to look at it together and they arrive at the middle to see what will be beneficial to the country as a whole.
All right, and straight to the word of the Guardian newspaper. From Borno State, Zulum okays direct payment of monthly allocations to Borno local governments. I think this is quite a very impressive gesture from the governor, because not many governors want federal government to pay their local government chairman the allocation directly. What is your 1 cent on this?
Yes, so far we have only Zulum, the Governor Zulum, out of 37, let me say that. So who have just allowed it? Well, I'll blame it on the federal government and the court. The court just ruled that, okay, henceforth, local government allocation should go straight into the purse or the account of the local government without making necessary adequate provision for it. Yes. So there has not been a separate account for local governments, which court must have mandated the local government to submit to the finance minister or wherever the money is being shared. So you can't send money to state government and order them to move it just like that to the local government account. It is a full of bottleneck. We can't. So the court should have made provision for the processes that, okay, henceforth, all local governments should submit their accounts to the federal government. Then from the ministry accounts, the money will be transmitted straight to the local government. Yes. But in any situation that the money has to pass through the state government account, we'll continue to have problem. Because this state government, I heard from one of them some years ago, because we have to interview him. Then what is delaying this thing? He said, local government, the chairmen are not mature enough to handle money above 5 billion. Imagine. Is there any required age to handle certain amount of money as a political office holder? So local governments, and when you look at them, some of them are older than some of the governors.
Exactly.
Some of them are exposed in financial transactions more than some of the governors. So these are ridiculous excuses. But the CBN, the court has to still be blamed. These are not clear court ruling or decision. So government should look into creating separate accounts, disbursing the money right from the source. The money should stop passing through the local government. Then the issue of these teacher salaries, the pensions, and all of that should be thoroughly discussed and separated. Is it going to, what do we call it? This accounting thing. Okay, the money going to the local government is 5 billion, then 1 billion for teacher salary, 500,000 for. So it's to be specifically outlined so that there won't be any ambiguity or any unnecessary contradictory decisions. So again, I blame it on the courts and federal governments.
All right, thank you for that. There's a story I want us to quickly look at on the Guardian newspaper. It says it's a special report on the front page and it's the biggest story on the front page of the Guardian. How varsities mass produce research without solutions to societal ills. And it's for that to say, mass produced research rarely translates into innovations that significantly impact local industries or communities. This is a university stroke polytechnic community. And from this report, they are saying that most universities, end up with, they have students, they have researchers that does millions of naira, research work. And in the end, this research don't translate to bring innovations or to, to help bring solutions to societal problems. What is your own take on this mass?
Yes, it has been for years. Most researches, most findings ended up in the trash. Yes, at the end of some year, they will have to pack them and burn them. So it is unfortunate. We all know, we agree, that if at least a fraction of those researches had been adopted by government or financial corporate organizations, some of our problems might have been solved. The issue of, these researches are well-formed, well-researched, solution provided, and problems isolated. But now that the whole material has been provided, government is not ready to put it to use. So what are we going to do? Some of these researches will have solved the problem of importing expatriates from abroad to construct our road, to create what we are facing, the more problem concerning power supply. So we have local hands going by what our varsities researches will have provided to put an end to this problem. So that is why we continue to have this problem. So I will encourage government to set up a committee. And if it has been set up, they should empower them. That will be looking critically into what will benefit the country from some of the researches. Then if government delay due to some bottleneck policies, corporate organization can come in. We have Dangote here. If they have any project that has to do with mining, the refinery and all of that, they should contact the institutions. If you have any project that has to do with what we do, please pass it to us. Then they sort up a committee that will look into it. In what ways locally can we improve on our production? Because at the end of the day, that will bring about cheaper end products that will reduce unnecessary inflation in the nation's economy.
All right, thank you for that input. And finally, to the word of the Punch newspaper. Federal government's 9 trillion naira domestic loans surge, drains the lifeline from businesses. Private sector lending falls as federal government domestic borrowing jumps to 152%. Economists say stricter loan rules choking off business funding. A lot of businesses are beginning to collapse because they do not have grants or they do not have loans from government. And from this report also, it's saying that even federal government itself is surviving on loans from probably international agency and what have you. What is your take on this particular story?
I want us to look at this headline deeply. You see, it has two sides. Getting loan up to 9 trillion naira for Nigerian masses could sound discouraging. Yes. At the same time, there's reason and benefit of such loans. It is true that getting such loan from banks is synonymous to what bankers describe as mopping of excess liquidity, as in collecting money from circulation so that you reduce inflation. But yes, in the same way, when a huge amount of this nature is sourced from bank, it deprived individuals, corporate organizations who need loan to facilitate or to increase their production. And definitely it will affect the economy. And at times, for the little that will be available, it could be offered at higher interest rates. But let's look at the other side, which is positive. That is why has government taking the loan? It's necessary to be because they want to use it to pay salaries. They want to use it to repay an old loan, to get a new on a better terms that will be more beneficial. It could be because they want to use it to fast track an infrastructure project, which will be beneficial to Nigerians also. So before government could take decision to take such huge loan, it must be for a very, very important sustainability for the country. So I believe that money, that loan, was serving a special purpose towards nation development. Concerning the other side, that yes, it's affecting those who need the loan to improve on their business, there's nothing we can do to it. Yoruba will say, you can't eat your cake and have it. So once government reason that taking that loan will be more beneficial than leaving it for individuals, fine, good enough. I am aware that they have been making a step to return, to pay the loan. Maybe as at yesterday, I learned that they are increasing the interest, the price of cigarettes and alcohol.
Yes.
The tax on interest and the tax on cigarettes and alcohol, in order to be able to pay that 9 trillion loan. So whichever way, government, the government led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I believe, know what it's doing. It's known what it's doing. So, and it will make provision for what is necessary. For the loan, Nigerians don't need to be afraid. I'm not briefing for them, but I'm sure that it is for the good or betterment of the country. For whatever is, whoever is lacking, is not getting the deserved loan, it's just for a while, for a moment. We can't expect government not to pay our people who are collecting salary, the civil servants. They are still our more parents, they are our children, our younger ones, and the money will have to go back into into circulation. So that is my opinion on that. We should try to endure and go along with government. The impact will not be felt so much because it will be returned sooner.
All right. I want to appreciate you for your time in the studio today, Mr. Simon Fakeye, and thank you for giving us such a wonderful analysis across the various happenings across the national newspaper. I remain Samuel Olaniyan. That will be all on newspaper review and analysis. Thanks. Goodbye.